Welcome, everyone, to Skeptic Bible Study, Episode 13. All things must pass. That's right, all things must pass, like a kidney stone, including our lovely Joseph and Jacob, as we round up the last few chapters of Genesis, the first book in the Bible. So won't you join James W., Amy Newman, and the rest of our other misfits for some Yahwehing fun?
Are you on? There you go.
Oh, yes, I was. We break our Skeptic Bible study into two segments. The first half, the host will read a chapter or two along with many of the annotations at the side. Don't mind if we take a less than literal interpretation of characters' names. However, everything else on the page will be left as is, or meshed together via committee. Either way, at a certain point, we will switch into our open mic format, in which case anyone can join the conversation. Look for the link in chat to come join our Skeptic Bible study, or send me your questions, comments, or thoughts by tagging me at Amy Newman. All right, everyone, don't forget to not only like and subscribe and hit that all button icon so you can get live reminders. And I would also like to give a special thank you to KO Champ and Oz at the Atheist Round Table. They are the first subscribers to the brand new Patreon, and we hope to use their support along with anyone else to build more amazing content straight back to you. If you'd like to be part of the awesomeness, feel free to find us at the Skeptic and Ranting Patreon at patreon.com/Amy Newman. Okay, and with that, let's see what's on the menu. Before we begin, I'm going to start by going over the specific Bible we'll be reading, along with some helpful category marks. Categories, you say? Why, yes I do. You see, we're going to be reading from the Skeptic's Annotated Bible, an entire King James Bible lovingly fawned over by a skeptic who decided he would add his own notations. These are little flagpoles of sanity put in use to remind us that, hey, maybe slavery is evil, including categories like absurdity, injustice, and cruelty, but also a good amount of intolerance, contradictions, and conflicts with science or history. That doesn't mean it's not packed full of misogyny, false prophecy, and some questionable biblical family values. Now, we won't skip the good parts that the Bible has, only that these passages seem far fewer in number than any priest or pastor seems to suggest. So without further ado, won't you come join the Skeptic crew? Woohoo! So how are you, James? And are you ready to be done the first book of the Bible?
It's amazing. We are already almost through 166 of the Bible. You know, we were just up last night. We had a good stream. We put Ken Hovind to bed, and then we spent some time with Donald on his channel. So that was really fun. And yeah, we are ready to go. Now, last episode, I think we ended up with everybody getting to Egypt, right?
Correct.
So,
they went back and forth.
Nothing can go wrong with that, right?
No, I feel like this is going to end happy, just like it always does, right? That's how the Bible normally goes.
I mean, God wouldn't lead his people into a trap. I mean, he wouldn't lead them there so that anything bad could happen to them, right?
Exactly. And I just want to say hello, everyone. Hi, Bible Burner. Hey, Donald. I know. Hopefully it won't be that painful, right? And then hi, Ian. And I just want to give a very special shout out to Jim at Meaning Forge, who is premiering his third episode of a series. And you can go check that out and all his awesomeness, because I'll be watching it right after the stream.
Okay. Absolutely.
Well,
what a good guy Jim is. Yeah. Great channel.
And I just want to go over, we have all sorts of new, I'm becoming a prop comic. I can't help myself. But we have sorts of all new fun toys for giving categories. Like here we have absurdity. And now we have our own little absurdity to go with it. All right, everyone. This is going to be a fun one.
So you can throw that to me. Like, we'll do like you throw me the ball.
Exactly. I'll throw, and hopefully Yahweh will catch it. Maybe in between. And of
in
course,
between killing somebody.
Okay, so we'll probably do, I think it's 4 chapters. So we'll do 3 chapters. We'll just get through it. And then the 4th chapter will make open mic and will bring us home. Bring us home in the Bible. First book.
Praise Jeebus.
Praise Jeebus. All right. So Pharaoh Bling Bling invites Jacob's Ladder and his family to live in Goku. All right. Then Joe DiMaggio came, kinky, and told Pharaoh Bling Bling and said, my father and my brethren and their flocks, okay, and their herds, getting bigger, and all they have are come out of the land of Canaan. I feel like nothing can go wrong there. And behold, they are in the land of Goku. Okay, Joseph said to Pharaoh, my father and brothers brought their flocks to Egypt. They are in the land of Goshen. Okay. And he took some of his brethren, even 5 men. Even 5?
Even 5.
Even
wow.
5. Wow. And presented them unto Pharaoh Bling Bling. So Joseph selected 5 of his brothers. I mean, he got like, what was it, 11, 12? I think it was 11 to pick
He selected 5. He killed the rest.
They're out there somewhere. Joseph selected 5 of his brothers, presented them to Pharaoh. Okay, and Pharaoh Bling Bling said unto his brethren, what is your occupation, and what is your Indeed profile? Monster? No? No? Okay. And they said unto Pharaoh Bling Bling, thy servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers. They said, moreover, unto Pharaoh, for to sojourn in the land are we come, I mean, it's getting hotter, for thy, sorry, I got slavery stuck in my throat, have no servants, of course, have no pasture for their flocks. For the famine is sore in the land of nothing can go wrong in Canaanite. Now therefore, we pray thee, let thy servants dwell in the land of Goku. Joseph's brother replied, we are shepherds. We came to Egypt to escape the famine. We would like to live in the land of Goshen.
Oh, okay. So they're just shepherds. Go figure. Okay.
Just shepherds. And Pharaoh Bling Bling spoke on to Joe DiMaggio, saying, thy father and thy brethren are come unto thee? The land of Egypt is before thee, in the best of the land. Make thy father and brethren to dwell in the land of Goku. Let them dwell, and if thou knowest any man for activity among them, it keeps on getting hotter, then make them rulers over my cattle. Okay, that's only legal in a few states, but we'll let you have it if you want.
To know them.
To know them. That's still part of that. Okay. And Joe DiMaggio brought in Jacob's ladder, his father, and set him before Pharaoh Bling Bling. And Jacob's ladder blessed Pharaoh Bling Bling. And Pharaoh Bling Bling said unto Jacob's ladder, How old art thou? And Jacob said, Why, are you a cop? And Jacob's ladder said, Jacob brought Jacob to Pharaoh. The Pharaoh asked Joseph, How old are you? Okay, we thought that's what it sounded like. And Jacob's ladder said unto Pharaoh Bling Bling, The days of the years of my pilgrimage are 130 years. Few and evil have the days of the years of my life been, and have not attained unto the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their pilgrimage. Jacob replied, 130. Wow, okay. Hey.
We heard a little exposition from that about Kent last night, if you remember.
Yeah. Hey.
Jacob's father lived to be like 800, so.
So why not 130, right? And Jacob's ladder blessed Pharaoh Bling Bling.
But not that way.
Not that way. And went out from before Pharaoh Bling Bling. And Joe DiMaggio placed his father and his brethren and gave them a possession in the land of Egypt, in the best of the land. Oh, nice, I think. In the land of Ramses, specifically, as Pharaoh Bling Bling had commanded. And Joe DiMaggio nourished his father and his brethren and all his father's household with bread. Okay, fine. According to their families. I know. Joseph gave his family the best of the land along with bread to feed their families. Okay. So Joseph collects all the money in Egypt, and we have some good old-fashioned not intolerance, ill judgment. What is this called? Injustice. Thank you. I should do this on my head. There we go.
SpongeBob.
I know. I should get a SpongeBob. You're doing some SpongeBob thinking over there. Evolution. It's a religion.
If evolution was a religion, this would be church.
That's right. Welcome everyone to. I'm gonna call it an evil version of Sunday school. We actually love everyone, but
we don't kill anybody or burn anybody.
We're not going to flood anyone to death. So always a benefit. I know. There sure does seem to be a lot of going on. And it's funny, even when we're not trying to put euphemisms into the Bible's mouth, the Bible is just coming up with ways to make euphemisms. So that just makes it 100% euphemisms, the whole thing. So it's going to be a fun ride.
The Bible just comes up and sodomizes your ear every once in a while, just for fun.
Every once in a while, Jacobs. Yeah, see? All right, collecting all the money in Egypt. Wow,
it's like a con artist operation. I don't know what's going on here.
You know what's funny? They do have specifically 11. They could be near an ocean.
Is there a Trump Towers going to be built there or something?
I was gonna say probably, but I was gonna say, is this the first Ocean's 11? Is this where it all began? We're about to see it happen. But yeah, there was probably
George Clooney as the Pharaoh.
Okay, and there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore. I'm a famine, and I'm very sore. Oh, God. So the land of Egypt and the land of Canaanite fainted, but they keep on anthropomorphizing. I gave you sore because I knew what you were saying, but now, come on, I get it. Fainted by the reason of the famine. There was no food in Egypt or Canada. I'm just playing with you. I know you're being with the English. And the translations and the fun. Okay. And Joe DiMaggio gathered up all the money that was found in the land of, I should just change that to New York, because it's the only thing every once in a while we come back to a real place. In the land of can I not, for the corn, half of my diet, the other, which they brought, and Joe DiMaggio brought money into Pharaoh Bling Bling's house. So Joseph gathered up all the money in Egypt. I feel like that would have been a hard task. I feel
all
like
the money, every last penny.
From a logistics standpoint, from like a freedom standpoint, like no one was like, no, this is my gold. Not a single person. Egypt and Canada by selling bread to the starving people. Okay, I mean, I want you to sell bread to the starving people. I'll give you that. I'm a little confused at the logistics of the story, but no one's dying, so we're in happy territory as far as that's concerned.
We did just start, so don't.
We did just start.
Yeah,
exactly. More fun to come. And when money failed in the land of Egypt, New York, and in the land of can I not, all of the New Yorkians came onto Joe DiMaggio and said,
that's a lot.
Give us bread. That's a lot. For why should we die in thy presence, for the money faileth? And it's one sentence, but I'll get that. And Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give you for the cattle if money fail. And they brought their cattle onto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for horses, and the flocks, and for the cattle of the herds, and for the asses. And I hit my table. And he fed them with bread for all of their cattle for that year. I just had to be a little bit extra for that.
He fed their asses?
He fed their asses. It happens. Every once in a while on a good weekend, you feed your asses. When he had taken all their money, he took their animals. So he's exchanging things here. Da, 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 da.
As you would do, right? You know.
As you would do. And hi, Brian. And that's okay. If you would like to tell us how serious sin is, the last third of this episode is going to be open mic. Or
but we joke about it all the time, Amy. I don't get it.
God
is not mocked.
Will not be mocked, except for in this episode. This episode, we can make.
What about the last episode?
Okay, and that episode, and the one before that.
No mocking on the next episode. No mocking. No more.
I want to say it's going to be mock free, but every time I do, someone has a mock allergy, and then it just, they flare up.
Okay.
I'm here all night, folks. Tip your waitress.
No shellfish. No, nothing like that. No sinning. No uncircumcised penises.
No uncircumcised penises. Saying hi to everybody. And okay, we're moving through. When the year was ended, they came on to him, oh baby, the second year, and said unto him, we will not hide it from my Lord. Look, you're going to have tissues. Your mom is always going to find it, okay? Your dad's going to stumble across. He's going to, as I keep on hitting my table, fall across it while he's doing, I don't want to say the laundry, but, something's going to happen. How that our money is spent.
Something Gavin's going on under that table. Something Gavin-like is going on under that table, isn't it?
You haven't seen under here. So for all you guys know, I'm having a great time just going to town while I'm reading the Bible. This might get me hot and heavy. You guys don't know.
Praise God.
Praise Jeeves. Okay, we're on 18. As are many pastors, if we're lucky. When the year was ended, they came unto him the second year, and said unto him, we will not hide it from my Lord, how that our money is spent. How could you hide anything anyway? I'm glad you're telling us this, I guess, but they always try to hide things from this God who every once in a while pops in and is like, "Hi, there is not aught left in
I
the
think
sight
they're
of my
talking about
Lord."
the people, but I don't know.
The people, but
Yeah, I
our
think they're talking
bodies in
about
our
trying to hide stuff from
hands.
Joseph.
Oh, they're trying to hide stuff from Joseph. When he was then, we came in here the second year, so I'm going to hide it from my Lord. Oh, they're just trying to say we're not going to mess up the deal. Is that what they're trying to say?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Hey, no. We'll read it as literal as is written. Wherefore shall we die? Or as literal is, because let me tell you, who knows what translation is good for what Christian? But wherefore shall we die before thine eyes? In fact, if you'd like to know, we are reading a version of the King James Bible. Open to whatever. If you have a different version and you feel like your passage isn't being represented at any time, feel free to come on at the end of the channel and tell us, atheists, skeptics, whatever you want to call us, where we're wrong. Okay. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread. And we and our land will be servants unto Pharaoh Bling Bling, and give us seed hot, that we may live and not die. Excuse me again. And the land be not desolate. And Joe DiMaggio bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh Bling Bling. For the New Yorkians sold every man in his field, because the famine prevailed over them. So the land became Pharaoh Bling Bling's. Oh,
After
snap.
Joseph took all the money, then they had more money to buy stuff with.
I guess. And as for the people, he removed them to cities from one end of the borders of Egypt, even to the other end thereof. Only the land of the priest bought he not. I thought I was going to say brought. Bought he not. For the priest had a portion assigned them of Pharaoh Bling Bling, and did eat their portion, which Pharaoh Bling Bling gave them. Wherefore they sold their lands. When he had taken all their animals, he took their land. Okay, it didn't end up happy, though. I don't think. I can't even tell. When he had taken all their money, he took their animals. When he had taken all their animals, he took their land. No, this doesn't sound good. Okie dokie. Unless he's promising to give it back or something? Is there a
I
moral
don't
to
think
this?
that's part of the deal. No, he's just taking it all.
He's just taking it all? Like, this isn't like I took your land so that I can reveal to you how you guys secretly had to come together and love each other or something like that?
No,
I'm
not at all.
trying. Wherefore we shall die before. Did I read? No. Oh, yes, I did read 18. I made the joke. Wherefore shall we die before thine eyes?
20. You read 19 too.
Yes, gotcha. And Joe DiMaggio, and I want to be able, people can see it. And Joe DiMaggio bought all the land of New York for Pharaoh Bling Bling, for the New Yorkians, sold every man his field, because the famine prevailed over them, so the land became Pharaoh Bling Bling's. I think I've seen this Disney movie. This is just the bad guy taking the land. Unless I'm hoping this has a moral. Come on, Bibble. And for the people, he removed them to the cities for the end of the borders, to Egypt. Okay, to the other end of that. I think I did read that. Only the land of the priests brought he not, for the priests had portion assigned them of Pharaoh Bling Bling, and did eat their portion which Pharaoh gave them, wherefore they sold their lands. Okay. Then, Don says, pay attention to whether it says Lord lowercase, Lord with a capital case, or Lord all cases, the use case of the word as a translation hint. I always find how they do have this obsession with the word Lord, which Once again, they have reinterpreted it to the ground, to the fact that they view it as a positive. Just like the cross. Like, it has been reinterpreted for so many thousands of years that they put it around a kid's neck. They're like, why wouldn't you put a friggin' torture device around a kid's neck? It's our Lord and Savior. This is the guy that's going to bring us up to the happy place. And so it's a weird reframing, because every time I hear the weird Lord, you know, this is where my little revolutionary, it's almost like a conservative thing. I don't know if it's conservative or liberal. I don't bow to kings. No kings, no queens.
But what about a lord? Would you bow to a lord?
No. I understand what's it called who was on last night. I understand the English have a good version where they have basically neutered the king and queen. So I'm okay with that, because they have taken, even though I don't like it from just my American in me just goes, "Arr!" I at least can understand that for the most part over there, it has just become tradition, and the actual rules and laws, for the most part in all Western societies, are basically secular at this point.
Yeah, it's mostly a democracy. Just they do things under the name of the queen, but the queen doesn't exert any real power over people anymore.
And I'll tell you, Brian, we agree with you.
But they could be 100% wrong.
Well, there is true things in the Bible. That is the hard.
That's true.
It's so hard to make a declaration, because they could sit here and say, "You're going to tell us that Egypt isn't a real country?" Well, fine. Egypt is a real country. We know there's an Egypt. There's still been an Egypt. There was an Egypt for thousands of years. It's just there's no Spider-Man. There is a New York. There is no Spider. They really dislike when we use those analogies. But that little feeling of burn, I guess that's what we're trying to make feel. I know it feels, because they hate when we do the talking snakes and all that. I think we just lost. But
you know what's interesting here?
Yeah.
Is we're getting names for everybody except the Pharaoh. They just always refer to him as Pharaoh, but they never tell us which Pharaoh.
Well, that's why I call him Pharaoh Bling Bling, because I really have no context of. I'm just imagining a random king, because it's literally
which Pharaoh. One of them. One of the pharaohs.
He has no name. He has no. All we know is that he was so impressed that I'm all about the burn. Bam. See, I wouldn't burn by. It's funny. I actually, this is a little guilty pleasure. I don't want to burn Bibles one day, but if I ever do get enough money, I do want to have like a project that is similar to the Gideon project, is where we just slightly slip in like Hitchens' God is Not Great books, just slightly into hotels that have like stickers on them that say, "Do not throw out, free copy. If you find this, it is yours." It'd be so lovely. But yes,
or God delusion, or atheist literature.
Ideas. Exactly. I like the market of ideas. I just think we got better ideas.
But if we were to buy a bunch of Bibles, I mean, we would buy them on the market, and then we could, have a nice.
Hey, I have my Bible.
Marshmallow roasting fire.
Hey, I don't condemn book burning. But I don't book burn myself, because I find books more sacred than I find the concept of the Bible. But I'm used to sacred metaphorically, if that makes sense, because clearly it's not like, "Oh no, you burned a book." Oh, but yeah, I just have respect for books. But the Bible, of all of them, it's if it's even 50% good and 50% bad, then it's not a God.
But wait, have we seen anything good? All day. Have we seen anything good yet?
Let me tell you, there has not been a single, according to the annotative writer, we haven't gotten like a really good single like thumbs up, like a clear like secular this is good in all contexts. But I know that's coming up. I know there are passages like that in there, but let me tell you, it seems like at the end of the day, we're going to get through Genesis, and you could have taken that. Here's the one point where I'll go with Jim. You need Adam and Eve. Everything else you could chuck. If you just took the Adam and Eve story and took the rest of Genesis, you could have Christianity still. But the 90% of this book, you could generally chuck and still have a narrative. Like, we didn't need to have that many dukes. That many dukes and that many like boring him going and naming all these people and having babies
Yeah,
that
all the generations.
just to die. They are just there in there to die.
They don't do anything. They're here, they go, they die.
And if it's not literal, I mean, if it's literal, fine, you recorded it and those people were real. If it's not literal, then as a story writer, please take that out. Please take that out for the sake of everyone reading your book.
I mean, we kind of did need the genocide, the flood, but Sodom and Gomorrah.
Bible, tell me your you can't link. Well, I'll just
circumcision
say,
and
go
murder
to Bible Burns channel
of the Canaanites.
Oh yeah, well, I keep on saying how happy everything is in canon, but I'm doing a little prophecy and seeing into the future that things might not always be happy in canon.
Oh, you a prophet now?
Yes, not as cool as this prophet. This is my Moses action figure, which I'm so happy exists. You can't get a Muhammad action figure, go figure, but you can get a Moses, and I'll eventually get a Jesus one. I'm having so much fun with this. I can't help it. I am basically becoming the carrot top of atheism for the Skeptic Bible study, because prop comics don't tend to be my thing, but I hope you guys don't find it too boring.
I can't come up with a pun for it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I almost feel like every time I make something like this, I should just open the door and leave. But I won't. We'll keep on reading. Okay.
For the glory of the kingdom.
For the glory. So what number were we on?
24, I think. Or 23. The seed, yeah, we didn't get the seed on 23.
And they sold their lands. Okay. Then Joe DiMaggio. And I just see this, and yeah, exactly. I like it. I think your name's fine. All that.
I love it too.
It's like Iron Chariot and all that other stuff. Sending love to him. All sorts of. Okay, and it shall come to pass. Well, you should see a doctor for that. Oh wait, I skipped. Then Joe DiMaggio said unto his people, "Behold, jazz hands, I have brought to you this day and your land for Pharaoh Bling Bling. Io? I don't know. This sounds like a friggin' League of Legends name. Like
Io, the moon of Jupiter.
Yeah, is it? Makes sense. Woo! Hi, Answer. That's okay, and we heart you anyway. We'll try and keep you entertained with some Bible. We're killing atheists in Genesis. So I have not seen. I'll tell you, I have not met any atheists in this entire book so far. God was coming around. Like, you tell me the chapter where they mention atheists. I know there was Sodom and Gomorrah and all that stuff where God was just like, pew, and I imagine like a nuke cloud and all that stuff. But he's real vague on what their wickedness is. It's just like the wickedness. They were wickeding. And then they wanted to have sex with an angel. Because who doesn't? I mean, really. And so, yeah.
Chris Angel? But, I mean, it's not like we're saying no atheist has ever done anything bad. That's not the case. Of course, that's not the case. It's just when you compare secular morality versus somebody who says that their morality is perfect or ordained God, yeah, that doesn't work.
I would like even a decent morality ordained by God. Like he does some evil stuff, and they always like quote like the "Thou shalt not kill." You don't like not killing. You don't like not killing. No, I want that commandment to apply to him. I want him to stop killing. If I guarantee you, there is no Satan in the Torah. There's only the serpent. But I guarantee you, by the time we start the New Testament, and the Satan guy comes out, his kill count is going to be way lower than Yahweh's.
Thou shalt not kill. I mean, unless somebody does something terrible, like pick up sticks on the wrong day, then by all means kill him.
Yes, that'd be terrible. And see, you say they didn't believe in God, but that's not a problem in the Old Testament. That's not a problem at all. God comes right down and he's like, hi, I'm right here. I'm Yahweh. Hi, I'm a main character. You had 100 kids and 10 started killing your other kids. You should probably put the 10 kids in a playpen. This is my same problem with Adam and Eve, is that Yahweh didn't seem to understand playpen technology. Like, forget a wall or a fence. You have kids. Playpen. They don't even know good and evil. They're just wandering around like, hey, welcome to Eden. This is great. Hi, Shaggy. But that's okay. You're welcome also, Brian, to come join us at the later half of the show. I think we're almost done this chapter. I'm pointing. Point. Lio, here is seed for you, Kinky. And ye shall sow the land, and it shall come to pass, once again, sounds painful, in the increase, that ye shall give the fifth part unto Pharaoh Bling Bling, and 4 parts shall be your own, for seed of the field, and for your food, for them of your households, and for food of your little ones. And they said, Thou hast saved our lives. Let us find grace in the sight of my Lord, and we will be Pharaoh Bling Bling's endorsement of slavery. I mean servants. And Joe DiMaggio made it a law over the land of Egypt unto this day, that Pharaoh Bling Bling should have the 5th part, except the land of the priests only. Yeah, priests, of course, carve out a piece for religion, which became not Pharaoh Bling Bling's. And Israel, the guy, not the country, dwelt in the land of New York, in the country of Goku. And they had possessions therein, and grew and multiplied exceedingly.
But isn't it funny how the Egyptians have their priests and everything, and like there's no problem with it? Like Yahweh's not like, oh, why do they have their own priests? Go kill those people and make them all, circumcise them all and make them all Jews. It's like it's not even a big deal.
And I'm going to read this, and then I'll read a comment, and then we'll go down to the next category. When the people had no money, animals, or land, Joseph made them plant crops and give 20% of their produce to the Pharaoh. And so Brian says, what if 100 started killing each other? First of all, can you imagine a scenario? I mean, this is a horror movie. Like, all the children start killing each other. I mean, it sounds like a cool script, but I mean,
when does that happen?
That's not how, generally speaking, children don't just randomly become murderers, especially that early. I mean, it's interesting to think about, but
I mean, unless you had something like a Cain and Abel type of thing where Yahweh arbitrarily blesses one and condemns the other, and then he gets wrath.
And okay, so we're moving to the last part of this chapter. Joseph swears to bury Jacob in Canaan. And so, all right, everyone, we have some absurdity. We have some. Do I not? You know what? I don't know if I have
You don't have your
something.
sex?
Sex. So we're just going to go like this, even though this is pain. Well, we're going to cross both streams for that one. And I think I need something for contradictions. Okay, see, I'm learning.
Oh, you could just hold up a Bible.
That's true. I could just point Bible.
Bible.
So, but that's okay. We're having some good sex, and we're having some good contradictions with itself. You know what? I should get like a little Bible keychain, and then I'll just hold the Bible up. Little.
But make sure it's procreative sex, otherwise, bad things will happen.
Can't be. Has to be the right kind of sex. Okay. Okay. In fact, I think I have a prop. I'll get in a second. Joseph swears to bury Jacob's ladder in Canaan. Okay, so, and Jacob lived in the land of Egypt 17 years. So the whole let me burp again. So the whole age of Jacob's ladder was 147 years. Jacob lived 147 years. Woo-hoo.
Not very long. Not very long at all compared to the others.
And now I have to ask Brian, here's my question to you. Do you think that jealousy is a bad thing? Do you think jealousy is not something that we should hold? That's my current question.
Better be careful with this one.
No. I just want you to know, is jealousy something that you think humans shouldn't have or any kind of being should have? And
of course not.
I mean, I don't think so. I think that we all have it at certain points, but I think that as humans, you should work against that. And I have found that the best way is that when you revel in other people's accomplishments, when you try and switch that emotion from jealousy into like praise and like either I'm glad for what they're doing or I want to do more like that, it becomes much healthier and you get much more done. All of a sudden, it's like the tides lift all boats. That's why I'm very much for cooperative, if everyone's into game theory, very much into cooperative games. Everyone working together to get accomplishments done.
Not zero-sum games. Not
zero-sum games, which is fun sometimes. You want to play soccer, you want to play baseball. You have to someone has to win and someone has to lose, but that's also how stealing works. Stealing is a zero-sum game. You actually have to take something from someone else for them to gain. And so I don't steal. I don't steal because I think it's wrong. You don't need anyone else to tell me because I'd rather lift all boats. I can get good things, and so can everyone else around me.
You mean as an atheist, you don't want to just steal anything you can get your hands on because there's no God to punish you?
No, I don't. Don't need nobody up here, down there, or anyone around.
Same with killing people. You don't find the urge to just kill people just because?
And I hate to say this. I don't hate to say this because there's two modes. We can do intelligent arguments and emotional arguments. And when it comes to God, emotional arguments aren't going to cut it. But the fact that it emotionally would hurt me if I hurt someone else is an emotional argument. But it's just a experiential thing. And I think most people are like that. I think when most people pet a dog's head, it actually feels good. I feel like the chemicals are just going off in their brain, and it's freaking biological.
Peradventure. Praise God.
Peradventure. Thank you, Ian. I think you do too. And okay, so
Ian's great. He's always in chat. What a good guy to have in our chat.
We just confirmed he was 147. And I love always the highlighted text is always the most fun. You know something's going to be good. And the time drew nigh that Israel, the guy, must die. Okay. And he called his son Jodimagio and said unto him, if now I have found grace in thy sight, put, I pray thee, thy hand under my thigh. Woo!
What the?
That was so funny. That flipped so
He's
fast.
ready to die.
From grace to my hand on your thigh. I bet that's what a lot of the priests start the conversation out as. Priest, pastor, and the deal kindly, imam, and your rabbi, and kindly and truly with me. Bury me not. Oh, baby, I've seen that porn. I pray thee in New York. Okay, when it was time for Jacob to die, he called Joseph and said to him, put your hand under my thigh and don't bury me in Egypt. But why? But why do you have to put, is that their way of saying, this is their way of putting your hand on a Bible? It's putting it on your thigh. Why do we put hands on our Bibles? We should be putting it on people's thighs. Hey, Dave Gore!
Hey.
Speaking about easy, I think, is Jacob getting easy? That's what I think. Okay, anyway.
He is. It's his son. But Ken Hovind just told us there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. Hey, there's nothing wrong with a little yaoi. Okay, they're burying faces and being on each other's thighs. But I will lie with my fathers, and thou shalt carry me out of Egypt and bury me in the burning place. And he said, I will do as thou hast said. Bury me with my fathers. This is about as direct as the Jews get with heaven. I think this is it. This is bury me where my fathers have lied before. I have used this joke in a bit before, the lie with my fathers, and I never even written this passage. I did not read this passage in all its this is the literal context, but here we are, burying with your fathers. And he said, swear unto me. Oh, baby. And he sware unto him, and Israel bound himself upon the bed's head. And Jacob said to Joseph, swear to me, and Joseph swore.
Was that a little bondage action there?
I think it was. That was a little kinky. And okay, so we just, what are you about to say?
Oh, you never know what you're gonna find in the Bible.
You never know what happens in Goshen stays in Goshen. And okay, we just read the book of Genesis, chapter 47. Only 4 more chapters to go. All right, book of Genesis, chapter 48. Moving right along.
Move right along. So we had some real estate wheeling and dealing last chapter. We had some dying, and now we're see what happens next.
Woo-hoo. So we have Jacob's ladder, messed up blessing of Ephraim dam, and I'm gonna need
Ephraim. Is that Ephraim?
Ephraim, and I'm gonna need 3 Manasseh to play this card. For all you Magic fans out there. Okay, so what's on the menu? We have good old absurdity. We're having a ball.
Or 2.
We have exactly one of my new favorites because these are so fucking adorable. Good old family values. You can see them sucking their thumb. Oh no, they're little babies. And we have some injustice. Da, 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 da. and of course some contradictions with itself. Woohoo! And it came to pass, sounds painful, after these things, that one told Joseph, "Behold, thy father is sick." And he took with him 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And one told Jacob's ladder, and he said, "Behold, thy son Joseph come everywhere, and he doesn't even clean up after himself. He all over unto thee. And Israel Shmishmael, the guy, not the state, strengthened himself. Do you even lift, bro? And sat upon the bed." When Joseph heard that his father Jacob was sick, he went to visit him with his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And Jacob said unto Joseph, "God Almighty appeared unto me at Luz in the land of Canaanite and blessed me." And they arrived.
And put his hand under your thigh. Again.
Yeah. Hey, that's how you know you're making a good praising. When Joseph heard that his father Jacob was sick, he went to visit him with his 2 sons, Manasseh and Ephraim. And they arrived. Jacob said, "God appeared to me in Canaan and blessed me." Okay. "And said unto me, Behold, I will make thee fruitful." Everything is about making babies. "Ain't it just? "And multiply thee, and I will make of thee a multitude of people, and I will give this land to thy seed." Once again, "After thee, for an everlasting possession." God said to me, "I will make ye fruitful, and give this land to your seed."
To your sperm, specifically.
Yes. They're all about the sperm for whatever reason. And now, let's see. "And now thy 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, which were born unto thee in the land of New York, before I came unto thee into New York, are mine. As Dave Rubin and Simon says, they shall be mine."
Kinky.
Your 2 sons, Ephraim and Manasseh, are now mine. Wow, that escalated quickly.
They belong to me now.
They
work for me.
They work for they work. Tell them they work for me now. Okay. I know what's with the mobster boss mentality?
Not going to use my tax dollars to teach evolution in the schools.
And excuse me, that's Yahweh's job. Excuse me.
My tax dollars are taken to teach your religion.
It's a religion. With excuse me, I got a drink of water, and that's a religion. And now the 2 sons. I think we're on 6. And thy issue, which thou begettest after them, shall be thine. This does seem like a supervillain speech. I'm not gonna hold anything against him. Just sounds a little whatever. "And shall be called after the name of their brethren in their inheritance. And as for me, when I come from Padawan, Rachel from Friends, dine by me in the land of Canaanite, in the way when yet there was but a little way to come onto the Ephrathah, and I buried her." High five. "There in the way of Ephrath." Hey, he's just saying he lost his V card. We're happy. I'm just teasing. "The same is in Bethlehem." There's a Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I used to live there. I think actually I went to my Hebrew school was in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Good times. And Israel.
Hebrew school.
Hebrew
never
school.
Mind. Never mind him. Never mind Joshua.
Send
He's in
in
the past.
love.
Let's forget about him.
Smokey, somewhere out there. I think he decided to. He now works on a farm. I think that's how that works.
A
Okay,
kibbutz.
and a kibbutz. That's funny. I went to a kibbutz. They used to do all that stuff. They used to have like, what is it called? Like a field trip. And Joseph said unto his father, "What number am I on?" Where it's hard to tell. Who are we blessing? Where are we blessing?
Which
And
thigh is being grabbed?
whose thighs being had? And Joseph said, grabbed, I can't even English, said unto his father, "They are my sons whom God hath given me in this place." And he said, "Bring them," as all nice, not supervillains say, "I pray thee unto me, and I will bless them." Okay, well, it ended in a blessing. Bless you, bless him. Now the eyes of Israel, the guy, were dim for age. Well, I mean, you get to a certain 100, 200, 300 years old and your eyes start to go. So that he could not see. And he brought them near unto him, and he kissed them and embraced them. Is he making out his glasses? Okie dokie.
Doesn't have thighs.
Doesn't have thighs. I had not thought to see. I can't tell who's kissing who and what body part here. I'm trying to figure it out. I had not thought to see thy face. And lo, God hath shewed me also thy seed. And Joseph brought them out from between his knees and bowed himself with his face to the earth.
Between his knees. Wow.
Kinky. And Joe DiMaggio took them both, as you would, Ephraim in his right hand, toward Israel's left hand, and Manachard in his left hand, toward Ishmael's right hand, and brought them near unto them. Joseph brought his two sons to Jacob, and Ephraim toward Jacob's left hand, and Manasseh towards his right. Okay. And Israel stretched out Ishmael his right hand and laid it onto Darapram. I can't even say the actual thing I'm trying to make fun of. Who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manachard's head.
Ephraim?
Diaphragm. We'll take it. Diaphragm, thank you. Diaphragm's head. Guiding his hand wittingly. I'm a little don't mind. I'm a little bit special. That's the term. For Manachard was the firstborn. I'd be careful about being a firstborn.
See, you had all your shots when you were a child, so you know what happens when you get that.
Get a little bit special. That's what happened.
Yeah. You had all your shots, so.
Now, I would like to know how, it's vaccines. It's not even vaccine. It's not like there is a vaccine. Each vaccine is their own unique strand of the DNA that they are, a dead DNA that they are trying to kill. So I want to know how the dead strand of multiple different types of germs, viruses that they're countering can all cause one single social, which has upsides and downsides. They also like to forget that shout out to all my autistic brothers and sisters who, some of them who are struggling, some of them who are doing great or even better than, I'm just going to say non-autistic brethren. So shout out to all of them, and fuck all the people who try to use this as some fucking thing for their anti-science conspiracy theories. Exactly.
Absolutely. Fuck them.
Exactly.
Even Kent. Fuck Kent.
It annoys me because, you don't have to be like that. It's you could be a metaphorical Christian who finds meaning in whatever, and still believe in evolution, in global warming, in vaccines, the world is round, in just the entire litany. It really doesn't have to be this battle. It's just we have these massive battles because those are the things that the absolute literalist latch onto. So they latch onto these things, and that's what they want to fight. Exactly. They have made the fight evolution versus creation basically a proxy war between atheism and theism, but it doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't have to be, no. Because there are billions of Christians who accept evolution. It doesn't have to be that way, but
who come onto our channel. So
in more ways than one.
Oh, baby, exactly. The creationists are easier to fight. In my opinion, we want them on. We will because it's easier to debunk. But I actually want the metaphorical Christians or theists in real life. Well, I want them to be deists or atheists or whatever, but I'd rather, if you're on board team science, then everything else is just a conversation.
Praise God. Gay men.
Praise the Jeebus. Okay. Brian said, don't believe in evolution because I judge my beliefs with the same principles. See, but it shouldn't be up to your beliefs. Facts shouldn't be up to opinion. That's why I abhor politics. My new go-to, if anyone asks me what my political views are, I'm going to say science. That is my new go-to. I've been really trying to handle this, but it's not an opinion. Also, I hope you do feel welcome here, Brian. You could say feel free to be who you are and say lots of things who you disagree with, and we're not going to mute you or ban you, or we may rib you a little. I can't promise we're not going to roast a little bit, but that's the part of the channel anyway. It's skeptic and comedy.
We are a free speech channel.
Free speech
we
channel.
Support free speech. Absolutely right. Free exchange of ideas. Just
observation signs.
Hate speech or anything.
In fact, Brian,
extreme.
let me give you the one thing I want to ask Ken Hovind. I asked Ken Hovind. Actually, Ken Hovind kind of gave in and just said it. And just said, well, it's a poor terminology. My question for you is, do you believe in microevolution? I'm not going to ask any other terms, but do you believe in microevolution? And feel free to answer whenever you want. Don't feel free to rush because I'll go back into reading while you're answering that. And hi, Titan, your anus in the house. And awesome. Then we welcome you on board every stream. Woohoo!
She'll even let you grab her thigh.
Woohoo! I know, and the go-to joke seems to be now is, I will not bite unless you're into that, in which case we'll think about it. And so you say you believe in microevolution. I got a yes. So that means you believe in evolution, doesn't it?
Just a time scale.
Now,
the only question.
we're just arguing on what kind. I know this question feels like a trap, but it's not. It's not really. It's supposed to show that there's because the obvious effects of evolution, like viruses mutating into new species, is so factual that even the creationists kind of have to go, well, fine. Well, that kind of evolution, there is only one kind of evolution, but that's the actual kind. See, now we're using their kind, but that's the evolution that we see.
That's why Kent goes so hard with the age of the Earth, because he needs to try to say that there has been enough time for that to work on the macro scale.
Time. And so this is a common misconception, Brian, is that we're going to pop out. My joke for this is that the creationists are waiting for a dolphin to pop out a dog or something like that, or a dog to pop out a dolphin. But that's actually not the way evolution works, kind of like at nested hierarchies, the longer you go back in time. And so we're always going to be mammals. We're always going to be apes. And so if there is something one day that splits off and there's 2 or 3 I hear my cat scratching. If there's 2 or 3 branches of humans, when that day happens, they'll still be humans. There will actually be different kind. I say kind. There'll be different species. If they can't
If we
mate with each
diversify,
other,
yeah.
they will be different species of humans. They will still always be humans. They'll be humans forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, and we'll never stop.
Like if we sent a colony of humans to Mars and they were there for, just by themselves for hundreds or even thousands of years, there might come a point where they diversify so much that they wouldn't be able to interbreed with the humans left on Earth. But they would still be humans. They would just be, I don't even know if you would phrase it a different species. I don't even know how that would work, but that is how evolution works.
Yep. And someone just.
But they would still be eukaryotes, right? We're all eukaryotes, and so are trees. Trees are eukaryotes.
And I have good back and forth with the Maverick. I think at this point he actually focuses on other people, but we always have kind of like we say hi and everything. But hey, he should come back.
He's cordial.
Here, right? He's cordial. Titan says you weren't humans and tomatoes diverged a long time ago. Exactly. We're never going to become tomatoes. Like that's not our shtick. It's not how we handle gathering energy.
Elephants will be elephants. We'll be humans, and we'll also be apes.
Yep, that's how it works. If it actually, I mean, it'd be crazy. Can you imagine if dogs gave birth to dolphins just randomly, just like the mother species, or
puppies grew off of corn stalks, like Ken Hovind likes to postulate. Good old Maverick. Yep.
Good old Maverick. Scientific.
Praise God.
So Brian
Praise
says
Jesus.
There should be scientific evidence of what everything's last form was. You can. We're apes. So you could say that at one point there was a single species of ape. It was just there was a new niche. An ape found that niche. It might have been separated off from McCrees or all types of different other mammals. And eventually they diversified again and they spread out. And eventually you get to a point where those apes can no longer have sex with each other. And we call that a different species. Also, does not just
chimpanzees, gorillas, monkeys.
Exactly. Also, it doesn't disprove a God. I want to reiterate that is that, we want to debate atheism versus theism, but I can't help separate that enough because the creationists are the one who want to mix it with swift streams to begin with. And hey, Iron! Welcome,
Iron. Wow.
We
were just talking about him and he appeared.
Network.
That is prophetic. You are becoming a prophet, Amy.
I'm becoming a prophet. Oh, their issue is they think the logic of how evolution works backwards. Yes, that almost kind of seems to explain, or I can understand that. All of the middle men are gone. There are no everything right now. So everything right now is 4.5, maybe give or take, depending on how the Earth formed, years old. And we're all equally evolved. We sometimes get questions like, who's the more equal race or all this stuff. They try and wedge evolution in this. No one, your child is 0.000000000001% more evolved than you are. So it has nothing to do with the different animals around you. It has to do with time, when the baby came out, and then the environment. They're put in the environment, and then all these pressures start crushing them. And if they last and make babies, they push it on to the next generation. But this is the top line.
Right. So
Everything
bacteria
right
are just
now,
as evolved as we are.
yes. A lot of people look at like bacteria right now, and they look down at bacteria. It's the wrong way to look at it. They're just as evolved as we are. They have just as valuable mechanisms of staying alive and propagating and all that. It's just that we value intelligence. I understand why we value intelligence, and in our society, I wish we valued it more. But just because it's the end all be all for
all evolved
humans.
means is just specialized to survive in their environment. And bacteria are heavily specialized to survive on Earth. They've been around for billions of years. They'll be around billions of more years.
Exactly. And just because we value intelligence and should value intelligence, and it's our niche, doesn't mean that nature actually values intelligence. I mean, you could have like the equivalent of if you're a computer person, a Pi, a $35, a cheap CPU or whatever, and you could just go out there. A lot of creatures out there have a pretty cheapo CPU, but they're doing just fine because they got hard shells, or they can fly, or all sorts of fun stuff. And I'll answer a few more questions, and then you'll be able to come on, and I'll answer all of them at the end. We want to move through this. It's got a Mason produced. The middleman were here. They're dead though. They were. The problem is you're thinking of like, here we are. Where's the one? When the middlemen were alive, they were the top of the line. They were the top of the line. They were the newest model. They were the thing that was out. They're only middlemen because we can look back and say they were our ancestors. So it's easy, you know what I mean? It's easy to say that the middlemen, after they beat off the woolly mammoth for food or whatever, or killed it to get food, but it's after the fact. Why do all the middle of apes and humans disappear? So yeah, they're not going to exist anymore, but we do see fossils of them. And also, you want to know another interesting, you want to see your ancestors? Watch an embryo develop. If you watch an embryo develop from the first cell division all the way to it becoming a human, you will watch it go through all the stages of development. You'll see this with cats and dogs who look similar when they're puppies and kitties because they are carnivora, which is my favorite. Shout out to carnivora, which is my favorite branch. I love primates, but carnivora are awesome. They are all intelligent species, the whole branch. So are primates, but they're all adorable. Don't see ape mans. Well, first of all, we do see ape mans because we are ape mans. What you're trying to say is we don't see monkey men, but we're not monkeys. Or you could say we don't see in between species, but we're not. Not only are we not the end game, there could be a less hairy species than us. A million years from now, we could grow our hair back, and then all of a sudden, dude, they'll be like, remember when there was this freakish time in our ancestors' life when we were all hairless? I mean, the journey is just beginning, even though it's hard to think of it that way. And okay, I'm going to be waiting for James to get back, so I'll read one or two more. But then I'm going, if he doesn't come back, I'm just going to go right back into reading. Continues there. Yes, I think you see that too. Well, hey, all 8 years. Some people say the brain doesn't fully develop till 23, 24. Okay, the cat wants to go out. So give me 1 second. Look at this lovely thing of the Bible. But if we had evidence, we would take it. It's just... they're trying to tell us this is the all-seeing, all-powerful creator of the universe, which I don't actually think is a biblical claim. That's the other thing. But we won't even get into that kind of stuff. But, all right. So I'm going to wait for James to come back, but I'm gonna read. So we'll just read a little bit while he's connecting. So we're on his two sons. Okay. And Israel Shmishmael, excuse me again, stretched out his right hand and laid it upon Diaphragm's head, who was the younger, and his left hand upon Manachard's head, guiding his hands wittingly, for Manachard was the firstborn. Okie dokie. But Jacob put his right hand on Ephraim's head and his left hand on Manasseh's, and Manasseh was the older son. And we're about to get some blessings. And blessings to everybody. And he blessed Joseph and said, God, before whom my fathers, Abraham, and Isaac, I forget what I said, but did walk, the God which fed me all my life, long unto this day. The Chris angel, which redeemed me from all evil, bless the lads, of course, bless the lads. And let my name be named on them, and the name of my fathers, and Abraham, and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude into the midst of the earth. Welcome back, James. Just started reading, I think, the last two paragraphs. Abraham, and let them grow into the multitude in the midst of the earth. Okay, so he's blessing Joseph, his fathers from Abraham and Isaac. Been a little hot minute since we've seen them. And then an angel, which redeemed from evil, blesses the lads. Oh my gosh, lads. Let my name be named on them, and the name of fathers, Abraham and Isaac, and let them grow into a multitude. We're growing babies. Woohoo!
Sounds good.
When Joe DiMaggio saw that his father laid his right hand upon the head of Diaphragm, it pleased him, and he held up his father's hand to remove it from Diaphragm's head onto Manachard's head. When Joseph saw that Jacob put his right hand on the wrong head, it displeased him. And he tried to reverse Jacob's hand, saying, And Joseph said unto his father, Not so, and my father, for this is the firstborn. Put thy right hand upon his head. And his father refused, and said, I know my son, I know it. He shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly, his younger brother, Billy, I was kidding, shall be greater than he, and his seed, oh my, shall become a multitude of nations. But Jacob refused, saying, I know. Ephraim will become a people, and he'll be great, but his younger brother will be greater, and his seed will become a multitude of nations. Okay.
What is it with Jacob and like picking one over the other and like you're good, the rest of you suck?
Yeah, I don't know why they seem to love picking favorites. And he blessed them that day, saying, In thee shall Israel Shmishmael bless, saying, God, make thee as Diaphragm and as Manachard. And he set Diaphragm before Manachard. And Israel Shmishmael said unto Joseph's ladder, Joe DiMaggio, crossing streams again, Behold, I die. Okay. But God shall be with you, and bring you again unto the land of your fathers. Then Jacob said, I am dying, but God will be with you, and bring you to Canaan. Moreover,
He said, Behold, I die.
Behold, I die. Very exciting. Moreover, I have given to thee one portion above thy brethren, which I took out of the land of the Amorites with my sword and my bow.
Hey, I screwed them over. I'm gonna give the rest to you, but don't tell anybody.
Shh. Okay, so We just got done the book of Genesis, chapter 48. So that
we
was
are cruising
interesting.
right along. Yeah.
Cruising right along. Once again, I guess the most exciting thing of that was he said he was going to die. Jacob
Did he don't think he actually died yet.
didn't actually die. He said he was going to.
The previous chapter, he had him put his hand under his thigh and said he was going to die, but he didn't die then. But he didn't die now either. But soon, I guess.
I guess soon. Okay, so let's see what's on the menu. We have Jacob's Ladder's deathbed speech. Oh
We have
my.
absurdity,
So we have
contradictions, sex, and what else?
contradictions. We'll do a little bit of sex. And we have some biblical prophecy.
Moses.
Woo-hoo. Good old Moses.
Fictional character, but we love him anyway.
But wait, exactly. And this will be, so we're going to read one more chapter, and then I'll send the link into chat if you would like, anyone would like to join our live stream.
Open the floodgates.
Open the floodgates, and we'll do our last bit of Genesis. We'll wrap up a book, put a book on our shelf. Okay, Jacob's deathbed speech. And Jacob's ladder called unto his sons and said, Gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together, and hear, ye sons of Jacob's ladder, and hearken unto Israel Shmishmael, your father. When Jacob was preparing to die, he gathered his sons around him and addressed each of them individually with a prophecy. Oh boy. Get into some
now
prophecy.
all of you, grab my thigh.
Grab my thigh. Gather yourself together, and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel Shmishmael your father. Dave Reuben, thou art my firstborn, my might, and the beginning of my strength, the excellency of dignity, and the excellency of power. He began with his oldest son Reuben, saying, Reuben will not excel because he had sex with his father's wife. Yeah,
That's kind of a no-no, yeah.
kind of a no-no. Unstable as water, thou shalt not excel, because thou west up thy father's bed, then defiledest, thou it, he went up to my couch. Simon
on the couch,
says,
he did it on the couch.
He did it on the couch. Simon says, and Levi are brethren. Levi's genes are brethren. Instruments of cruelty are in their habitations. O my soul, come not thou into the secret, unto their assembly. Mine honor, be not thou united. For in their anger they slew a man. They also slew a man if he comes.
What's wrong with that?
Pulls out. And in their self-will, they dig down a wall. Digging a wall. Okay. Cursed to be their anger, for it was fierce.
Proto-Donald Trump.
And their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob's ladder and scatter them in Israel the place? ? Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise. Thy hands shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee. Judah, the song is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
They have
Jacob
medication for that.
Yeah. Jacob continued addressing his son, saying, Simon and Levi are cruel. Okay.
So you two are dicks. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. The scepter shall not depart from Judah the song, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Judah is like a lion, his descents will be like kings, unto Shiloh comes. Binding his fowl unto the vine, and his asses colt unto the choicest vine. He washed his garments in wine, and his clothes in the blood of grapes. I mean grape juice?
You're getting a little excited there, Amy.
I guess I am. He washed.
Yes.
First of all, two things. As I hit my keyboard, I love a good ass, and I love a good grape juice. So this is a win-win for me. He washed his garments in wine, and his eyes will be red with wine. Okay, I'll take some good wine too. His eyes shall be red with wine, and his teeth white with milk. Are we going to a bar? I'm confused. Okay. Zubulun from StarCraft shall dwell at the heaven of the sea, and he shall be for a haven of ships, and his border shall be unto Zidon.
Is that like a prehistoric claim about like he's whining about wine staining his teeth and he needs to go to the dentist? I don't know.
I guess so.
And he needs them to be white like milk, but he drinks wine and they stain your teeth. So yeah.
Iskar, a strong ass, couching down between two burdens. Oh, I know that feeling. Ishtar is a strong ass crouching down between two burdens. Okay, that's what
it happens, right?
It happens. And he saw the rest was good, and the land that it was pleasant, and bowed his shoulders to bear, and became a servant unto tribute. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. I'm just glad Dan is back.
Where did he come back? He came back from nowhere. He like parachutes in from heaven.
Dan will be a snake that bites the horse's heel. That almost sounds like a cool lyric. Hand that feeds you, will you bite the horse's heel? Dan shall be a serpent by the way.
The Garden of Eden reference.
And this is the first time the snake a reference has even come back up. There has not been a serpent or a Satan or any S word since really Eden. Adder in the path that bitteth the horse's heel. Okay, so that the rider shall fall backward. I have waited for thy salvation, O Lord. Gadsad, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last. Gad will overcome at last. Remember, kids, don't wash your clothes with wine. Stagnant is a misnomer. Their associations are adapted to the environment. Oh, I make that. Okay, out of Asher. His bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Naphtali is a hind let loose. He giveth godly words. I know this is like where you have like the big reveal where it turns out that Dan is a bad guy. Not Dan.
That's why he got that name.
I knew it could be Ziphil. I knew it could be Zaphram, but Dan?
Ephraim, Diaphragm,
Exactly.
Laudanum.
You notice that the Americans, the Westerners, don't give any of the easy names. So we still hear Dan and maybe even a good Joseph or a Japheth, but I don't remember the last Naphtali. And
Ephraim.
Gad, and I'm saying Gadsad. I know he's on YouTube, but he's more Middle Eastern, I think. Okay. Where were we? Out of Asher, the League of Legends character, his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties. Okay, Nephtali is a hind let loose. He give goodly words. So God will overcome at last. Asher will have fat bread and royal dainties, and Nephtali is a wild female. I guess so. I'm unleashed, female deer that gives goodly words. Okay.
A transsexual deer.
Transsexual deer. There's already a bit about that. There is a whitest kids you know bit about that where they come across. I guess it's not a trans deer, but it is because it's a guy playing a girl, and they get to a point. Oh, I don't want to ruin it, but they get to a point where they're about to have sex with the deer. You should go check out what. Yahweh's getting triggered. Go check out Whitest Kids You Know Deer, and I guarantee you it'll be the first one that comes up.
Praise God. Praise Jesus.
Praise Jesus.
Ramen.
Ramen. Can I get a I can't point correctly. Ramen. Back there somewhere. Joe DiMaggio is fruitful, though. Even a fruitful bough by a well, whose branches run over the well. The archers have sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him. Joseph is a fruitful branch by a well, whose branches... Are they telling me he's having lots of kids, or are they... I mean, what the hell are they telling me? I think that's
where they're going, but they're being very poetic about it.
Gotcha. The archers sorely grieved him, and shot at him, and hated him. But his bow abode in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. God will bless him with blessings of the breast and of the womb. Okay. Can't you guys just say they're going to have sex and have lots of kids?
He's having lots of kids, yeah. That's obviously, yeah.
Okay. Sure. By his abode in the strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob's ladder. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel, Shishmael. Even by God of the Father, who shall help thee, and by the Almighty, who shall bless thee, the blessings of heaven above, blessings of the deep, like Lilith, blessings of the breast and of the womb. The blessings of thy father have prevailed upon the blessings of my progenitors, unto utmost bound of the everlasting hills. They shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of the head of him that was separate from his brethren.
Oh, wow.
Oh, no.
Very kinky there.
Very kinky. Bringing those Benjamins shall raven as a wolf. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. Benjamin is a wolf who will devour prey. Everyone's turning evil? Is this like the end of the movie? I guess we're getting to the last chapter. Everyone has to turn evil. And all these are the 12 tribes of Israel. It has to be 12. Thank you, mythic structure. Yeah. The place, Israel.
One son, yeah.
And this is if it that their father spake unto them and blessed them, everyone according to his blessings, he blessed them. These are the 12 tribes of Israel. Oh, wow, we're having this explanation for all that. Okay. Let's dig it into it. We're almost done this chapter. And he charged them and said unto them, I am to be gathered unto my people, bury me with my fathers in the cave that is in the field of Zac Ephron, the Hittite, in the cave that is in the field of Macklemore, which is before Mamre in the land of Canaanite, which, oh man, Abraham, bought with the field of Zac Ephron, the Hittite, for a possession of a burying place.
Oh, the Hittite. Oh, okay. That makes sense.
I remember when I used to go to the Hittite. For a possession of a burying place. And they buried Abraham, Shmabraham, and Sarah.
That's
Good
the one who
old
laughed at
Sarah.
God.
Oh, she came back.
She's the one who laughed at God, yeah.
Sarah, pictured here.
She's not laughing anymore, is she, Amy?
No, yeah, I guess not. And they buried Isaac and Rebecca the sneaker, his wife, and then they buried Leah, not from Star Wars.
Is that the one who had sex with Reuben? Which one was that? Rebecca?
It's hard to tell. It might be.
Yeah.
The purchase with Dave Rubin. Hey, I'm just glad he's getting out there. The actual Dave Rubin might I think he has different views, but on women. That's okay.
Taste, but
we like Yowie, so bring it on. Either way, the purchase
of the field. He can
still
help Yahweh out.
He can still help Yahweh out. I think he's an atheist. Funny enough, the purchase of the field in the cave that is in thereon, where it was from the children of I'm gonna go Hoth from Star Wars. Close enough. Jacob dies.
Finally.
Womp,
womp. Like Fidel Castro, he just never dies.
Never dies. And we have a little bit of biblical prophecy. So we're going to give some biblical prophecy, do the chapter review, and we're going to bring in, open the floodgates, baby, and we're going to read the last chapter of Genesis.
Come in onto us.
So, Jacob's ladder dies with a helping of prophecy. The theists do love their prophecy, even though they never match up with any of the other religions. But anyway, and not even the Old Testament and the New Testament, even though the New Testament people say that they do, they kind of made it fit, kind of like we're trying to push puzzle pieces together that weren't supposed to be there, but
we made it fit.
We made it fit. We got that square peg through the round hole. And when Jacob's ladder had made an end of commanding his sons, he gathered up his feet into the bed, yielded up the ghost, and was gathered on to his people.
Everybody said, finally.
Finally, he yielded up to that ghost.
This guy's been grabbing my thigh for how long, and now he's finally dead?
Finally, yeah. And okay, so we have the book of Genesis, chapter 49. This was Jacob's deathbed speech.
Now that we got that video, I am that chapter review. I am complete in my life.
If I don't do the chapter review, Yahweh comes down and just he gets mad.
He'll cause a famine or something, you know.
Exactly. And so give me just a second, guys. I'm going to be sending that link into chat. And if you don't want to join, you're just chilling, you're painting, you're
how long is this chapter?
In the shower, just keep on enjoying what you're doing. We only have
if you're grabbing somebody's thigh, just keep on grabbing it.
Just keep on grabbing. So that's into chat, and then I'll pin it. And there we go, guys. So with that,
how long is this chapter? How many verses in it?
End
of Genesis.
Looks like 3 major segments. So
there we are. Nice short chapter.
Nice short chapter. But if you would like to come on, atheist, theist, come on down. Tell us your thoughts about All Things Must Pass, the last bit of Genesis. We
We'll
see
even
the
let in
light.
a vegan, but only one at a time, not two. We won't let in more than one vegan at a time. That's crazy.
And okay, so the book of Genesis, chapter 50. Oh, and in fact, I also forgot. We'll play this. Not that it matters. You said your life was. I think I have two now, so I have that. I think I'll play this at the end instead next time. There we go. Now it's officially
now I'm
open
really,
mic.
yeah, now I'm really
Now we're really set.
complete.
And okay, so we're moving on to Jacob's burial. We have a little bit of a snooze fest, but that's
It's a
okay.
contradiction. Go ahead.
We have some good old contradictions with itself. So that's okay. That'll keep us entertained. So, Jacob's burial. And Joseph fell upon his father's face. Oh my. And wept upon him and kissed him. And Joe DiMaggio commanded his servants, the physicians, to embalm his father. And the physicians embalmed Israel, the guy.
They made him a mummy.
Not the country. Made him a mummy.
So he should still be around today.
You think we'd be able to find some sort of record, right? And 40 days were fulfilled for him. For so are fulfilled the days of which are embalmed, and the New Yorkians mourned for him 70 days ago. Okay. And when the days of his mourning were past, Joe DiMaggio spake unto the house of Pharaoh, saying, Pharaoh bling bling, saying, if now I have found grace in your eyes, speak, I pray you, in the ears of Pharaoh bling bling, saying, my father made me swear. Oh, he's pushing this off. Saying, lo, I die in me. My grave, which I have digged for me. It's almost getting a song. In the land of Canaanite, there shalt thou bury me. Now, therefore, let me go up, I pray thee, and bury my again.
Again.
Again. And Pharaoh said, go up and bury thy father according as he made thee swear. And Joseph went up to bury his father, and with him went up all of his servants. Sorry, I got slavery stuck in my throat. Of Pharaoh bling bling, the elders of his house, and all the elders of the land of New York, and all the house of Joe DiMaggio, and his brethren, and
even Andrew Cuomo.
Even exactly. And his servants of Pharaoh bling bling, the elders of his house, and the elders of all the land of New York. And all the house of Joe DiMaggio and his brethren and his father's house, only the little ones, and their flocks, and their herds, they left in the land of Goku.
With Joshua Herbel.
And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen. Hopefully they're not iron chariots.
Charioteer, shout out.
And there went up with him both chariots and horsemen. And it was very great company. I loved it. It was a great time. And they came to the threshing floor of Atad, which is beyond Jordan, kind of back there. And they mourned with a great and very sore lamentation. And he made a mourning for his father 7 days. This is very exciting. He was right. And when the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites, saw the mourning in the floor of Atad, they said, This is a grievous mourning to the Egyptians, and the New Yorkians, where the name of it was called Alabazamazam, which is beyond Jordan. It's right. Turn the quarter to the left. And his sons did unto him according as he commanded him. For his sons carried him into the land of Canaanite and buried him in the cave of the field of Machlamore, which Abraham Shmabraham bought with the field for a possession of a burning place of Zac Ephron the Hittite before Mamres, in the cave in the field of Maclafella. Oh, woohoo!
Some more boredom here.
Yeah. And hey, yo, what is up? It's a freak. What is up, Scapegoat Revenge? We are almost at the end of the first book of Genesis. If anyone would like to join us on our Skeptic Bible study, feel free to, on All Things Must Pass, feel free to find the link below. I'm also going to send a link into our Discord. If anyone would like to do Discord after, we're going to be heading over there. So give me a second and I'll send that out as well.
What was our first Bible study? How long have we been going in Genesis?
I'm not sure, but we've been moving along,
Like
which is kind of
2
crazy.
weeks,
13 episodes.
3 weeks.
Something like that. 1 second to put the expiration, and all right. Sending that into chat.
Praise Jesus.
Praise Jeebus. And if you'd like to join us, the other link is pinned, but we're going back in. Let's finish this up.
You're a firework.
I'm firework. Don't mind me hitting a million buttons. Okay. So, Joe DiMaggio's brothers apologize to Joe DiMaggio.
About the
And
slavery thing?
I wonder, would they ever got an apology for that? And we're finishing up with more boring, a little sleepy, but that's okay. It's okay. Gotta eat your vegetables.
Bedtime time, Kent.
And okay. And Joe DiMaggio returned into New York, he and his brethren, and all that went up with him to bury his father. And he buried his father after he buried his father. Okay, a little bit redundant. Where I think I read that. And when Joseph's brethren saw their father was dead, they said, Joseph will peradventure hate us, and will certainly requisite us all the evil which he did unto him. I'll take a sip.
So they're saying, oh yeah, now that our father's dead, Joseph will want revenge for that whole slavery bit. But of course, Joseph won't do that.
He would.
He's a very forgiving man. He's a very forgiving man. It's a good story.
And they sent a message unto Joseph, saying, Thy father did command before he died, saying, oh, I'm going to cough again. I'm sorry, guys.
Peradventure.
Peradventure. And they sent a messenger, saying, Thy father did command before he died, saying, So shall ye say unto Joe DiMaggio, Forgive, I pray thee now, the trespass of thy brethren, and the sin, for they did unto thee evil. For now we pray thee, forgive the trespass of the servants of God thy father. And Joseph wept when they spake unto him. And his brethren also went and fell down before his face. Everyone's fallen on their face.
As you do.
as you do. Somehow I just lost my. What number were we on? We're falling on Facef. So Joseph, I pray thee now trespass they brethren, and the sin, for they did unto thy evil. And now we pray thee, forgive the trespass of servants of the God of thy father. And Joseph wept when they spak unto him. And his brethren also went and fell down before his face. There we go. And they said, Behold, we be thy servants. And Joseph said unto him, Fear not, for I am in the place of God. But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good, to bring to pass that it is this, to save, much people alive. Now therefore fear ye not, I will nourish you and your little ones. And he confronted them and spake kindly unto them. It's not even a thing. It's just that is what happens. And hi, Ogre in the house.
Wow.
I know we're trying
here,
something.
Ogre.
We're trying something new. I actually saw daylight. Isn't that a cool thing? I hear there's daytime now. And okay, so I'm gonna bring Donald in, and we'll let him
Donald
say.
In the back studio?
We got Donald in the back studio. We'll let him say hi, and then we'll read the last passage, and then all three of us will just review it, unless anyone would like to join us as well. In which case, you can also join us.
Another peradventure.
Another peradventure. Hey, Donald, how are you?
Hello.
So have you been listening to anything that's been going on? And if not,
I've been listening, yeah.
So what are your thoughts? Has it been truly exciting? I can feel the excitement, right, of this chapter.
It's radiating off him.
Well, sarcastically, yes.
I know.
Yes, very exciting. I gotta say though, you make the Bible much more tolerating for us skeptics because especially since you throw in the name changes and stuff like that. I mean, think about it. The names that we read in the English Bible aren't the names that they had anyway.
Probably.
They're at the very least they're transliterations, from one letter system to another. And I think in probably most cases, they're even translations on top of transliterations. It's a mess. The whole name thing. I mean, it's not like we're reading their original names in any sense. So, yeah, you give people a reminder of that. Stop and think. I mean, this book should be thought about, not just read like it's all fact and like the divine creator of the universe is speaking it directly to you himself, because that's not what's happening.
I don't know, Donald. I think I should be able to open the history books and see a pharaoh bling bling in there. Where was he?
Pharaoh bling bling.
Why isn't he there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Why didn't the history books? Why didn't the history books record all that stuff that the Bible claims happened? And for that matter, why didn't history books written before the English language include stuff written in the English language? Because,
like Jacob's Ladder, yeah.
But they're so vague. Even if you wanted to prove that there was this vague pharaoh, I mean, you could say it was 1,000 different guys. It's just, he doesn't even have a name.
Yeah.
Because if they gave a name, you'd be able to nail it.
It doesn't really matter what the name. Yeah, it really doesn't matter what the name was. Just if you want to be able to follow the story along, it helps if the name is at least somewhat consistent. And even then, even if you go with the names in the Bible, even before a translation, there is there's names that get changed in the Bible.
Yeah. Lots of times.
As Yahweh does frequently.
Yeah, he seems to rename his pets. That's what I like to call it. Because I actually think we treat our pets better, actually. So they're really his slaves, like his things. I don't know what to really call it. But and okay,
Yeah,
are we ready?
property does whatever they're told to, and then they say, oh, please forgive my property
Right.
for doing what they were told to do, because
Sorry, microphone.
it's like don't blame me because I told my property to do it, and don't blame them because I told them to do it.
Do we have anyone else in back studio?
Yeah. Nope,
Oh.
that's it. So, if anyone would like to
by the
join
way-
us, yep. Yeah.
By the way, that Brian F. I don't know if he's still in there in the chat. That was talking about evolution earlier. I'd like to invite him to come on my program later if he wants to do that.
I sometimes think
and I
that I
can
scare
explain
Theos away.
evolution to him. So yeah, he's probably gone, but I did try to tell him, because he was saying evolution doesn't make any sense, but then of course it doesn't make sense the way he's portraying it, because what he was portraying is not evolution. He can't seem to distinguish between evolution and evolution theory, and he doesn't seem to understand either one of them at all. So
You didn't invite him, did you? Did you invite him, maybe?
Yeah, I invite him, and I'll be fair to him because
You bid him?
I bid him. Yeah, no, it's not even that they are taught nothing; they're taught the wrong thing, and I feel bad.
Exactly.
I feel bad even saying that, but like
it's not his fault.
The pastors spend time telling them misinformation, so when they come up against us, they say, how do these atheists believe? Did they really believe that something came from nothing? And we're like,
yeah. And when we try to tell them that's not anything we believe, when we try to tell them that's not anything we believe, they're like, yes, it is.
Yeah,
You came from a rock, Donald?
It's talking points.
I came neither from nor on a rock.
Kinky.
No, that was Amy who came onto the rock.
It happens sometimes. And so let's just read Joseph Dies, and then we'll do a chapter review, and we can just talk about really just sum up Genesis. We're done the book of Genesis. And
evolution discussions are always welcome on my channel. If I've got a live stream going, I don't even care if it's off topic. That's allowed.
Donald's always willing to talk evolution.
Always up for evolution. Hey, that's okay. Hold on one second. And okay, let's finish this up. So Joseph
ready for an
dies.
Evolution peradventure.
Hey, I like quote unquote debating evolution because it feels good to be right. I mean, I hate to sound so smug about it, but it's not politics. We're not arguing what I feel about should. We're arguing about what is, and evolution is a fact.
Yeah. What's history?
What's history? What's the future? And we're shouting that out. Not all Christians deny evolution.
Well, that's another thing. Brian was saying something about science should be able to, if evolution is true, science should be able to show like everything that was the last thing something used to be. Well, that's not evolution. That's history. History is what records what things used to be, the way things were before. And, that's a lot of people confuse natural history, which tracks how things have evolved, with evolution, which is the process that allowed that to happen. They're not at all the same thing.
Everything has evolved, then you would literally need to have every single person who ever lived to have a complete chain.
Yeah.
Everything is an intermediate species. There's no missing link. Everything is an intermediate species.
Yeah, and also there is no predetermined direction that evolution is going to go in, and so there isn't any way to just like take what something is and decide what its descendants will look like or what its ancestors look like based just on what it is, because that's again not how evolution works. But anyway, I don't want to detract from what you're doing. Like I said, I just wanted to throw that in there because I think it's
we
an
are
important
almost
thing.
done with Genesis.
We're almost done. That's
Cool.
okay. I used that time to my advantage, Donald. That was good.
Cool.
So we are doing Joseph dies, a little bit of sleepiness, but it's bringing us into the landing. So here we
after
are.
Amy came onto the rock, then what happened?
Then what happened?
So what color was it after Joseph died? It. Oh wait, what did Joseph die?
I need to get it. I need to, just like Zoe, I need to get a soundboard. I need to set that up. Okay. And Joe DiMaggio dwelt in New York. He and his father's house, and Joe DiMaggio lived 110 years. Once again, was he doing backflips at 109? It was at 100. It was 110 that got him. And Joe DiMaggio saw Diaphragm's children of the third generation. The children's also of Makahara? Sure, the son of Manakar, were brought up upon Joe DiMaggio's knees. Oh, baby. And Joe DiMaggio said...
That 100, by the way, that's a hint of the King James version being, a British English.
Old English.
The H, well, British specifically because my point is the H is silent, and 100.
Yeah, it felt weird in my mouth. That must be the American.
That's why it says "an" instead of because the H is a silent letter, so it starts with a vowel.
It's not as salty as Amy's used to.
Not salty. I haven't been drinking. I should. Weed tends to be more my thing. I should be eating, but I was about to show like pretzel or something. But brands, copyrights, ladies and gentlemen, pay attention to them. Okay.
Praise Jeebus.
Praise Jeebus. And Joe DiMaggio said unto his brethren, I die. Okay. And God will surely visit you and bring you out of his land onto the land. Excuse me. Which he sware to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob's ladder. And Joseph took an oath to the children of Ishmael, saying, God will
three important people.
Right.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the only three important people.
Every once in a while, characters go away for a few chapters, and then they bring them up again. Just like Dan. We thought he was gone.
Those are important, even long after they're dead. Because they're the ones whose God they're all worshiping. It's like you got to have an identifier which God it is. That's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yeah. And so, Joe DiMaggio.
It's not like it's everybody's God.
It's just them, just one, not the other gods. Those other gods are over there, but this one God, he's our God, and that slowly over time became. Maybe it's just one God? And then the Christians and the Muslims and...
Maybe he's everybody's God. Yeah, he's everybody's God.
Yeah. They kept on expanding it until eventually it covered everybody.
That's just because, they went, we disagree on which God is the real one. And, your God keeps telling you to slaughter us, and our God keeps telling us to slaughter you. So, we should get together and find out which God is more powerful so we can win the war by having the more powerful God instead of by, actually slaughtering each other. And, so they'd have God contests, and whichever God proved to be the more powerful one, whichever magic trick seemed more impressive.
No. They saw which one was
adapted by the other people too, and then their gods would tell them as a collective group to go slaughter other people who believed in different gods.
All gods, lower your trousers.
Hot. Okay, so did we read the fine? Joseph took an oath of the children of Israel. Praise Jeebus. Of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you. Which one? And ye shall carry up, I know, it's their specific one, carry up my bones from hence. So, Joe DiMaggio died, being 110 years old. And they embalmed him.
Jacob dies, then Joseph dies a day later.
Just one after the other. We got to do an exposition cleanup. We're clean. It's the end of the chapter. And he was put in a coffin in New York, or in this place, Egypt. Okay, so once again, lots and lots of excitement as we finish up the book of Genesis, chapter 50. Woohoo! So what do you guys
I don't
think?
feel like it can be over. Is it really over, the first book?
Really over? I know. We finally got through one of those gosh darn books.
Is it really over? Can I still come over?
Always. What about you, Donald? We have just finished Genesis. I feel almost proud from cover to cover, if that chapter to chapter, page to page.
You finished a book within the book.
A book within the book, exactly. We're going Inception.
Baby steps, Donald. Baby steps, one at a time.
Yeah. Or you can just do like Jeffrey and fly, right?
Exactly.
We haven't
That'd be
evolved
easier.
wings yet. We're not like Kent's rabbits. We can't just decide to evolve wings.
Oh, you can't. Never mind then.
That's not how evolution works, Donald.
Yeah, so I've heard. Sadly, from people who think that is how it works, and that's why it doesn't make sense.
Right.
Really?
Rabbits could just decide, oh, hey, wouldn't it be cool if I could fly? So then we'll evolve wings. Right.
Yeah.
Be so easy.
Yeah. In that case, why not just transform themselves into God? Because then they're all knowing and all powerful, and they'd know exactly what they need to do to survive, and they wouldn't really need to do anything to survive. So they could just do nothing, which would mean they'd be, essentially dead, even though
Well, now,
they'd
Donald,
never die.
if you were paying attention to the first Ken Hovind video, you would know that that's where the devil, because he came up with evolution, and he wanted to trick Eve into thinking she could evolve to be gods. Don't you remember?
Uh-huh.
Don't you remember that?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think he's been watching too much Pokemon.
Little bit too much, Pokemon.
Little
I don't know
too
what
much
he was
of the
watching
idea
in prison.
that little idea that a little too much of the idea that evolution means do some magical incantation or rub on a crystal or something and poof, you become something else.
Rub on a crystal for me, Amy.
Yeah, well, they seem to want a dog to give birth to a dolphin. That is not how evolution works.
Well,
Puppy to come off the cornstalk.
What it really comes down to is that religions are pushing ridiculous old creation stories. They haven't even been updated to mesh with modern science. They make so little sense that the only way that they can keep people from believing reality over their fiction is to try to make reality look more ridiculous than their fiction. And so they try to turn the reality of evolution into a competing creation story. Instead of God poofing something into existence through magic, they say evolution poofed things into existence at random. It's just pretty much saying the same thing. The only difference is evolution, isn't a thing that they can imagine being able to do that kind of magical stuff. So then they go, well, then it must have been the God.
When you have magic, you'd be amazed at what you can accomplish.
Why don't you tell us about that, Amy?
Yeah. I'm magic all over the place. Oh my God. See, I went like that. And you saw James's face. See? I'm a deity. It all makes sense now.
Well, now that we're out of the first book of the Bible, that now that we've made our exodus from the first book, we can begin the genesis of the second book, right?
Yes, I think what comes next? Exodus? I feel like there's a joke in here somewhere.
Going to happen now.
There kind of is, yeah.
Yeah, nothing wrong at all. I feel like
I can't see anything bad is going to happen now.
My point is we're going from the Exodus to the Genesis. the going out of one book to the beginning of the next book.
Woohoo! Moving on to Exodus with a good 40 chapters in and of itself.
And
And
if that confused anybody,
Is that it,
sorry.
40?
It's just that the names are actually words, and the words have meanings, and the names don't, and so it's a linguist thing. Linguistic humor.
And you could go on to Eminent Reflection and get tons of that.
Yeah. That ought to chase him away from my channel.
Oh, come now, Donald. You had a big
fun.
crowd over there yesterday.
Yeah, you had a big crowd over there today. Donald had 20 people at his peak today, or something.
Yeah, wow.
Crazy for
How
70
long we had to go?
subscribers.
Had to be streaming before we could get to 20 people.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Last I looked, that this morning's episode was at 96 views.
There you go. You're kicking gum and taking names.
I think some of our shows don't even have that many.
Kicking gum, huh?
Exactly. And okay, so I think I'm about ready to wrap up, guys. So going in reverse order that we came in, Donald, the book of Genesis in general, or just the very end of the chapter we read, all things must pass, even chapter 1 in the Bible or the first book. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I just blew my thoughts away because I just accidentally closed something I wasn't supposed to close.
That's okay. Do you want to go in reverse? You want me to go over to James and then come back to you?
Yeah, do that, please. Yeah, I just goofed and I caught myself really off guard doing that.
I can't blame you.
Okay, we all get caught with our pants down once in a while. Like
now I'm waiting for my computer to catch up with me so I can try to see if I can repair the damage I just did. Oops.
Oops, like Rick Perry.
Exactly. And okay, we'll go in mixed order. James, what are your thoughts on Genesis?
Like evolution.
Like evolution.
My thoughts are, wow. Yeah, it was really fun to go through this book, and I had a really good time going through all of it. And I just can't wait to go through Exodus. Yeah. We had such a good time with Genesis. I can't imagine anything will go wrong with this next book because God has a perfect plan, and his plan already had a couple potholes, I guess, a couple bumps in the road, but it should be smooth sailing from here. Nothing's going to go wrong. He's got it covered. He's got a plan. He's omnipotent. He knows everything. So, yeah, everything should be happy, right?
Exactly. Should be all peachy dory. I feel like
Amy has a plan.
I feel like this was just the one bad book. I'm sure after this book, everything just gets happy in dreamland. He's a god, right? How could it go wrong?
He was a new god. He had never created anything before, so this was like his first, he's like, oh, oops, okay, now I got it.
Yeah, if anybody actually wants a spoiler, by the way, they can find it themselves easily enough by opening up the Skeptic's Annotated Bible and checking any book to see whether or not it actually has any good parts.
Thank you, Donald, but they should probably watch our videos first before they do that.
And I'm just going to send it right back.
If they really want a spoiler, they can do that. And then come watch the video.
That's okay. Donald, I'm sending it right back to you. What are your thoughts on Genesis?
The balls are in your court, Donald.
It is a ridiculous work of fiction, a compilation of writings that it's nice in a way that we still have some record of the kinds of stuff that people wrote back then, from a standpoint of, linguistic studies and stuff like that. But I wish people would stop taking it seriously, because I don't think it was ever intended to be taken seriously, even when it was originally written. Now, maybe some parts of it. I mean, it's the thing is, it's scrapped together from different writings with different purposes behind them. I mean, some of those things might have been meant to be used to help help govern people, to help governments keep control over the people and stuff like that. But I mean, we don't have access to what the original intentions were. Uh, we just have apologists trying to make excuses for the fact that it doesn't all fit together and make sense. So, people really want to know what a God has to say to them. They should ask that God. And if it can't or won't speak to them directly, then they should accept the fact that they just don't know what that God really has to say to them. And maybe it doesn't have anything to say to them at all. That's my thoughts.
Maybe.
Okay. And so, I want to thank James W., Donald, Jim Brenton, Dave Gar, Iron Charioteer, Titan Uranus, Factionless Network, Bible Burner, Brian, DeFreak, Ogre, Scapegoat's Back, along with our Patreons, KO Champ and Oz, Aunt Jur. I said Donald first. Aunt Jur was because she's listening in the back, sending hearts while she's listening. And Oz from the Atheist Round Table. I hope you all enjoyed our Skeptic Bible Study, episode 13. All things must pass, but hopefully it goes quickly. Where we get to the end of the first book in Genesis and put to rest both Jacob Slatter and Joe DiMaggio.
But don't worry,
I may be Newman.
Plenty of books to go.
Plenty of books to go. I
and
hope
hopefully
you all
they won't pass quite like a kidney stone.
Yes, hopefully it'll go by fairly quickly. But I hope you all had an awesome time, and I will see you guys on the next episode of Skeptic Ball Z.